Hi guys, it's time for another video. We're going to create editing profiles, searching for profiles and uploading a profile picture. Now to start off, we only want this to be available to logged in users. So let's go to our shared layout view. And then we want to show a part of the menu only when the user is logged in. Now how can we check this from a view? It's actually pretty simple. Let's go to the top. And first import the namespace using ASP.NET Core identity. And then we can inject with @inject our sign-in manager, which also had a type application user. And let's just call it sign-in manager. And this is again simple dependency injection like we did previously in a controller class. It will just make our sign-in manager available and we can use it to check if a user is logged in. So let's do that in the menu. So below this we can add a simple if statement using @if sign-in manager dot is signed in. And then we have to specify a parameter, a claims principal, and this is simply user, which is the currently logged in user, and that's it. The code inside these braces will only be executed if a user is signed in. Maybe we also want to show some menu options only if a user is not signed in, so let's also add an else block. And then in this we can add links to register or sign in. So let's do this now. We can just add menu options like these. So let's copy paste one from here. And instead of the anchor tag, I'm going to specify @URL dot action. And then first the method, which is register. And then the controller, which was the account controller. And we only have to specify the name account and not the controller part. And let's close it. And close the quotes and simply call the link register account. And we can do the same for signing in, as we have already created a method for signing in, which was called login. And this will show our register and login options if there is no user logged in. If a user is logged in, we want to show at least two options: editing a profile and searching for other profiles. So let's just add the links. I think the first one we can just use edit of the profile controller. And let's call it my profile. And the second one, we will create a search method in the profile controller. And let's call it search. And I think that should be it. Now it would also be nice to fix these other links. Well, we don't need about or contact right now, so let's get rid of them. And let's change home to also URL action. And this will be the index action of the home controller. So now all links in the menu will be working. Let's try it out. As you can see, we are not signed in. We have the options to register or log in. So let's register a new account. And now we are logged in and we can go to these two pages. Now they are not yet working, so I'm not going to go there. But as you can see, our menu is working as it should. So let's close out of this. And all we have to do is fix these two methods, including some views, of course. Let's open our profile controller. And first, let's check if we can get rid of anything that's already there. So index can go. Details, well, we can leave it here. We will use it later to display a single profile for another user. Create, we can remove it as we create a profile when the user is registering, so this can go. And also this post version. Edit, we are going to modify. And then delete can also go, as we cannot delete our profile. All right. And this profile exists method can also go. We don't need it, as we are quite sure that the profile we want to edit actually exists. So how are we going to modify this? We are not going to use the ID parameter, but we are just going to get the profile of the currently logged in user. So this can go, as well as this. And this can go as well. And this. All right, and let's fix this. Now, to get the current profile, we need a user manager, because through the user manager, we can get to the profile and we can simply add it to the constructor. So let's do that right now. Let's first create the private user manager. Add the usings we need. And then add it as a parameter to the constructor. So this will automatically be assigned, and then we can use it in the edit method to get the currently logged in user. So let's retrieve it. Application user current user is, and then we have to await, as this is an asynchronous method, user manager dot get user async, with user as the parameter. And now we can modify this code below. So instead of this ID, we will use the ID that is stored in the current user, which has a profile ID. So this will retrieve the profile from the database, which matches with the currently logged in user. And then all we have to do, as I'm quite sure it will be found, just return the profile with the view. And this should open an edit page with our current profile. Let's see if it works. Oops, I get a build error because profile exists is gone. Let's just comment this part out, because we will change this method completely later and run again. And there might be some stuff broken. Let's log in. And go to my profile. And then we have this error. We don't have a scripts section defined. And this should be done actually. The scaffolded views by default require a section called scripts to be rendered in the layout view. So let's add it. It's not that difficult. All we have to do below here is call add render section. And then the name of the section will be scripts. And the second parameter will be false, because this is not required. Not every page will render this section. And that's it. So this layout view is now fixed. And this is our edit page, and it displays our current profile, which is quite empty. Now I do notice I made a mistake here, because we can specify quite a lot, but not our gender. So this dating site has no way to determine if we are a man or a woman. I think we should change this. So let's change the model. This is the profile class. And we will add another enumeration. Public enum gender. And let's keep it simple and say male or female or ladies first, whichever you prefer. And then we can add a property of this type. Public gender get set. Now we also have to generate this column in our database. So let's go to the Package Manager console, build our project, Ctrl-Shift-B, just to be sure, and say add migration gender. And as you can see, it has created a script to add the gender column to our table. So now we can do update database, and it will actually add a column to the database. And it has been done. Now the gender input field has not been added to the edit view, but this is not really a problem as we have to edit it anyway. Because as you can see when I'm running the site, when we try to edit our profile, this doesn't work. So the smoking enumeration dropdown has not been generated properly, and the same would happen for gender. So we might as well fix them both in one go. For this we can go to our view, which is in profile and then edit CSHTML. And where is the smoking? It's here. And if we want to actually add the enumeration values to this dropdown, we have to specify ASP items and then somehow get the enumeration items in there. Now there is a function for this, and it's called HTML, or a method if you prefer, get enum select list. And this will generate a select list. And then our data type from which to generate is star date models smoker type. So let's save it and alt tab to the browser. And now we have several options to choose from. So it has generated our drop-down list. We can simply add gender to this form ourselves by just copy-pasting this form group. And let's add gender somewhere at the top. So below the display name would be fine, I guess. Just change these properties. So ASP4 will be gender. For the label, the select list, and the validation. And then instead of smoker type, we will use gender to generate our select list. Let's hit F5 again. And now we can choose from male or female. There are a few more things I'd like to fix. So the display name is a simple text box, it's fine. The gender is a drop down, it's fine. The birth date is some sort of weird date picker, but I guess it will do for now. We can always change it later to some nice jQuery thing. Height, well, we can enter a number, so I guess it will do. Description should be a text area, so let's change it. Where's the description? It's right here. So instead of input, we will do text area, and a text area has to be 2 tags actually to create the element. And this should generate a larger input field. So let's see how it changes. All right, so now it actually is multi-line text. Occupation is fine. Profile picture is a problem, I think, because we should be able to upload a file here. Now this will not be automatically generated for us, so we have to write the HTML ourselves. Now to upload a file, we can use the file control, but before the file control will actually work, we will have to change the form tag. All we have to do is specify the encoding type. Enc type is, and then a multi-part form data, and this will allow file uploading to be part of this form. So a small fix there. And then we can add a file control. So let's keep this original input field for now and add another one below. And here, instead of using ASP4 and stuff like this, I will just say that this will be a file control, which is input type is file. And I will just manually specify the name to be profile picture file. And as we are already showing a label here, let's remove it here. Or actually, let's keep the label, but remove the ASP4, so it will be an empty label. I think this will look better. So let's refresh again. And now we have a profile picture, and we can display our picture later when we have this working, and a file upload control. And if we click here, we can browse our files, but uploading will not yet work. So now this is sort of fine, I guess. We will fix the displaying of the picture here later. Let's go to our edit method that will be run if we hit the save button, because right now this is completely broken. We can go out of here and go to the profile controller and the post version of edit. Now first we have to add profile picture file to this list. This is simply a list of values in the post data that will be allowed through to prevent something called overposting. Look it up if you're interested. Now the profile picture file was not a property of the profile model, so we can just add it here afterwards. And it is of type I form file. Of course, we have to add a namespace, which will be using ASP.NET Core HTTP. And then the name will be the same as the name of the input element, which was profile picture file. So now we have this file to work with, as well as the rest of the data that was entered. And what are we going to do here? Well, first we have to again get the currently logged in user. So I'm just going to copy it from this get version and paste it here. So we have the user. And it might not be the best practice, but I am going to remove this try catch for now. We can always add it later if we want. Like this. So now it's nice and clean and we have something to work with. So what this will do is it will actually update our profile with all the data that has been entered except for the profile picture. So let's see if we have to upload a picture. How are we going to do this? Well, first let's create a folder to put the uploaded pictures in. So in the www root, which is our website, we can add a new folder. And uploads would, I think, be a good name. And then inside this folder, we are going to create a folder for every user once the user tries to upload an image. Okay, so how to do this? Let's first check if we have to upload something. So if profile picture file is not equal to null, so someone has actually uploaded something, let's get the upload directory. So string upload path is path.com. Oh, so the path class is not available. Let's see if we can. It's using system.io. Path.combine. And then we can get the current root of the website through the, and oh dear, I completely forgot something. Because for this we need the hosting environment. So let's wait with this for a second. Just like the user manager, we can inject it right here. Private I hosting environment. Let's just call it environment. And resolve the namespace using ASP.NET Core hosting. And then add it as a parameter. And assign it. So now we can access stuff like the current folder the website is hosted in. We can go back here and actually use this environment dot webroot path and combine it with the uploads folder I just created. Then we can create the directory with the current user ID using the directory class. Create directory, and then again we will combine a path using path.combine, and this will be the upload path and the current user.id. Alright, so now we have a directory or a folder to put our image in. So let's get the image itself. Let's first get the file name. Because Edge has, I think, what could be called a bug, which I will show you right now when debugging. If we try to upload a picture, and hit save, it will hit the breakpoint and it will say the file name is actually the full path, and it's only supposed to be arnold.jpg, not the C users blah blah blah. So Chrome actually does this right, but Edge gives us the full path, and we only need the file name. Now there is no way to get the file name from this except for just hacking something. So I'm going to stop this right now and write some code that I think is pretty dirty, but I guess if it works, it works. If file name contains, and then we can check for the backslash character, but it is itself an escape character, so we have to put 2 in there to escape it. If there is a backslash in there, then we are on Windows, on Edge, and it's uploading a complete path instead of just the file name. So if this happens, then we want the file name to be split into parts on this backslash, and then we want the last value. So this will only get the last part of the file name and put it into this variable. Okay, and now that we have the file name, we can upload it using this name. So using, and let's create a file stream for this. Not file stream, file stream. fs is new file stream, and then we have to specify the path where to upload it, and this will be again path.combine, and we will combine the upload path with the current user.id, which is the directory we just created, as well as the file name. And this should create a nice complete path to our file that will always be unique unless the same user uploads an image with the same name as he has done before. And then the second parameter will be the file mode, which will be create. So this will create a file, and then we can simply say await profile picture file. Dot copy to async, and then copy it to the file stream. So last thing to do is actually set the file name in the profile object, and this is simply profile.profile picture is file name. All right, and this should be our complete code to upload a profile picture. Now, as I said, there is one limitation to this, as we are not generating a completely unique file name. When the same user uploads the same file with the same name twice, it will be overwritten. Also, when the user uploads a file with a different name, the old one will still exist. It will not be removed. However, I am not going to do this right now. So let's see if we can actually upload a file. So let's hit browse, choose a picture and hit save. Oh, I still have to pick a date, okay. And it has done something. I'm not sure if it has uploaded a file. For this we can simply check our Solution Explorer, go to Uploads, and as you can see it has created a directory with our current user ID. And inside there is a picture called arnold.jpg. So it would be nice if we can actually see the picture here. So let's fix that right now. And for this we go to the Edit View. And then where we previously left our input field, we are going to modify this a bit. I'm going to change this input to type hidden, which means the value inside it will be posted again when the user hits the submit button. So we keep this value. If we don't use this element at all, then the value will be reset to nothing. So, and we don't want to lose this profile picture name, of course. So we have a hidden field. Then we don't need a validation, but we can add a picture using the img tag. We can just set the src parameter to, I guess, uploads, and not the www root, as it does not really exist. And then let's go and combine this with the model.user.id for the directory with the user ID. Add a slash and then model.profile picture. And this should create a nice image tag for us. And it will display the original image as is. So if we go back here, so now we can actually see our picture. Now you could add a nice CSS class to this. Let's do it right now to ensure that pictures are all the same size. So for this, let's go, let's first add it here. Class is, and let's call it profile picture. And then we add the CSS class to our own style sheet. So what should we do here? The display mode will be block. The max width and max height are the important bits. So let's say it should be a maximum of 200 pixels. And then we will set the width and height to auto. And this will make sure that the aspect ratio is kept, but the picture is either a maximum of 200 pixels wide or high. And as you can see, it will be a bit smaller right now. So every picture will be limited to this size. Now this is not actually the resolution of the file on disk. If you want to change the resolution of the file on disk, we would have to use an external library right now that will be specialized in image editing functions. This is not built into .NET Core, so we cannot do it with existing functionality. But if you're really interested in it, we might get back to this later, as I know that it is quite possible to do this. So let's see if everything is actually stored here. So my display name will be Arnold, gender male, birth date, well, let's set it to something different. Like, I don't know. Okay, this date picker is pretty annoying. I'm just going to click somewhere. All right. My height will be, I don't know, 190 centimeters. Description, get to the job occupation. Well, I'm not sure Arnold is a developer, actor, and I'm going to upload a different picture. As you know, Arnold occasionally smokes cigars, so let's say occasional and save it. All right, and as you can see, it is all changed and actually it is stored. So if we go back to home and back to my profile, it is still there. So editing profiles is working and it is doing everything it should. Stuff to improve, most obviously this date picker, but this is not for today. So this video has already taken quite long. I think we will save searching profiles for the next video. So that's it for this time. I hope to see you again next time and thanks for watching.